All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we got an update about the biggest fight of the year, and it is not Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. It is the rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. We have an update as far as what's going on in the camp, and also some information around the Terrence Crawford-Bud fight towards the end of the video. So make sure you guys watch it to the end. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, where there had been some conversation going on about Gervonta Davis, but we now have some a conclusion to the drama, but also some information about the Terrence Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight, which is really bizarre, that we're going to talk about in the second half of the video. So make sure you guys watch all the way to the end. Now, before I get into the details, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks of the video. It really goes a long way to supporting the channel. So thank you guys. But let's get into this, because there's always rumors around Gervonta Davis and his team and what is going to be happening with the next fight that he has. If you recall, there was a big drama that went on in his camp last fight before Lamont Roach. And there was a lot of back and forth about whether or not Coach Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis were going to be training with Gervonta Davis or not, or whether or not Gervonta Davis had fired him. And then once you had the fight itself, you see in the ring that there was a lot of confusion in the corner. 3 or 4 different voices. You can see Gervonta Davis's head was kind of all over the place. Didn't really look focused or look very distracted at certain times, especially during that period of time where he took the knee because the hair grease got in his eye, his braid got in his eye. Just, really looked like a helter-skeltered corner for that fight. So, of course, and reasonably, people are trying to figure out what's going to be going on with Gervonta now. Well, I think we've got a solid answer, as Gervonta Davis has begun training camp. And he's begun training camp with Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis in the training camp with him. So, just like Gervonta Davis says before every fight, there is no issue with Calvin Ford or Kenny Ellis. And he said Calvin Ford specifically said that's Pops, and he's always going to work with Calvin Ford. Now, my question is whether or not they're going to try to do and bring in a different trainer for that fight to work along with Calvin Ford. I would say, man, I don't want him to do that. However, if it is the person that they're down there in Florida working with, Kevin Cunningham, I do believe that Kevin Cunningham has been in the corner for Gervonta Davis in the past. Kevin Cunningham, if you're not familiar with Kevin Cunningham, he's the former trainer of Erickson Lubin. He's a former trainer of the former undisputed champion, Corey Spinks, who's the son of Leon Spinks. Very, very well-known trainer, very exceptional trainer. I think he also was responsible for Devin Alexander, who got a shot at the WBO, or he had a shot at a world championship against Tim Bradley at one point in time. I don't think Devin Alexander ever won a champion, but he might have. But Devin Alexander was a really good fighter. Kevin Cunningham was responsible for him. And I do believe Kevin Cunningham, like I said, had trained Gervonta Davis, or he was in the corner for him, I do believe, for his first world title. And that was against Jose Pedraza, because in that particular fight, Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis were not in the corner. Don't know what that was about, but that's something that had been happening on and off through their career. So hopefully, though, they'll have a very set way to go about it. I know that there was some rumblings in the gym about the performance of Barry Hunter of Headbanger Gym, who was the head trainer in the last fight for Gervonta. So to my understanding, Barry Hunter has not been involved yet so far in this one. So chances are Barry Hunter will not be involved in that fight. But I don't really like the kind of musical chair thing that they're doing. I don't get it. But hey, man, if they were waiting for me to get something, they would never be where they are today. So it is what it is as far as what they're doing. I'm just glad that there is the continuity of Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis in the corner. And they're going to be ready for this next fight. And I hope that they don't have a lot of DC influence in their camp this time like they did last time, because there was rumors that the game plan got out on Gervonta Davis to Lamont Roach. So, everybody's going to try to get the advantages that they can get. But at the end of the day, we know one thing. This fight is very, very much in demand, unlike what they claimed for the last fight. And this is probably going to be the biggest fight of the year. I suspect that this thing may do 800,000 pay-per-views for Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis, the rematch. It could be a little bit could be a little bit high, but I really think that this is going to be one of Gervonta Davis's most highly anticipated fights because of the way the fight turned out last time. So other than the Ryan Garcia fight, I think this is probably going to be his biggest one. Unlike a certain other fight that's going on, and this is what I wanted to talk about in the second half of the video, about Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford. And the fight that they're saying is going to be the fight of the century. They're putting this fight of the century on in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday. Middle of Saturday afternoon, right when everybody's out for the week doing their shopping or doing their clothes, shopping for their clothes, or they're out with their kids, for their kid may have a basketball game that Saturday, or they may have a tennis tournament or something that keeps them busy during the afternoon, Saturday afternoon. All the stuff that we do on our day that we don't have to work, or most people don't have to work. Turkey Al-Sheikh wants to put that fight card of Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez dead in the middle of your shopping sprees. So there's no doubt what fight is going to be the bigger fight. And I do want to tell people, man, that you do have to grow fighters. And it's almost impossible to grow fighters if you continue to have fights on networks where people don't watch and hold the fights at times where people have other things to do. Just a crap show so far in the promotion for that. However, and along with the fact that they gave 2 different dates or 3 different dates and they still haven't had a venue, when they announce this fight for Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, everything is going to be what it is, and you're going to know where to go, where it's going to be, and it's not going to be off in some tennis court that you got to take 5 buses to get to. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.